I mean, right now in the US, we export a ton of food. Something like 40% of the food we grow is exported. So
Wow.
this is not an issue of supply or yield. In fact, most of the food we grow isn't even eaten by humans. It's either force fed to cattle and other livestock, where it's turned into fuel as ethanol, or into high fructose corn syrup, or into a bunch of industrial products. I didn't know this until I met this great guy, Austin Frerick, who wrote this book, Barons, which is a super cool book about how basically the US food system's controlled by a handful of robber baron style
Mm.
privately owned companies that aren't even publicly owned. So we know next to nothing about how they operate and what their priorities are. But Austin's from Iowa. And he's like, oh, I remember when I was in college and this girl from California came, who was going to school with us. She saw this beautiful field of corn and she ran out into the field and grabbed a kernel of corn and she started peeling it. And we were like, what are you doing? And she's like,
Wow.
I'm going to eat this fresh corn. And they're like, that's seed corn or
Mm.
that's fuel corn. Like that's inedible. You can't eat that corn. And that's what is growing in most of the country now because it gets a better profit margin than the corn that we eat, the sweet corn that we eat, or the popcorn that we eat. The issue is not supply,
Mhm.
but also the issue is not, even if we had a supply issue, we're also wasting a huge percentage of the food that we eat. And so, 30 or 40%, again, I haven't looked at the recent data, but the last time I looked at it, it's almost half of the food that we serve people is thrown away.